Hey guys, I'm Volin and I'm working on a video editor inside of Godot, and the video editor is called GoZen. Today we'll be changing the project manager, which is the first screen which you see when you open up GoZen. When looking at the design I have now, well, it looks very familiar with some other popular piece of open source software. Can't quite remember the name though. There were a couple of reasons why I wanted to change the design. First of all, copying Blender, although it looks nice, felt kind of wrong. Also, I wanted the project manager to be loose from the rest of the editor, as I wanted to load the editor after selecting the project, to make the overall experience feel smoother, with a faster startup time. These are some of the reasons why I wanted to change the project manager. Another reason is because I want it to stand out more and be recognizable as the GoZen project manager, and not make people kind of question what kind of version of Blender someone is using. The main purpose for this project manager is to easily create new projects and to navigate previously created projects, and possibly to change editor settings without loading the main editor. This is especially helpful if you change the setting which keeps crashing the editor on startup. You never know when it can happen or for what reason it can happen, but at least you have the option to change the settings easily without it being stuck into a crash loop. When clicking to open or create a project, a loading screen will appear, which will allow for all modules to load properly and to properly prepare and set up the editor, informing people of what's going on. That loading screen will help people to see what is loading, so they don't just start staring at an unresponsive application for a second or two and wondering like, did it crash? Do I need to restart? What's happening? But yeah, more on the loading screen in the next devlog, because it's more complicated than you might think and it's easier than you might think. So how did I plan out this whole new design and how did I go about it? First of all, I started off by making a quick list of things that I will need inside of this project manager. Afterwards, I boxed out a quick design of where I would want everything to kind of be and where the buttons should be and the text. I didn't take too long for this as I already had some kind of plan in my mind. After I got my first design I was happy with, I posted it onto the Discord server, and yeah, there were some design suggestions, especially about the gradient that I had in the title at the time, which I personally like, but yeah, other people apparently think that it's old-fashioned, so yeah, I got rid of it. But even after the suggestions on the design, I kept thinking that there was a little bit too much information on the screen, a little bit too much text and such, so I decided to make the final design, and it looked like this. Compared to the old design, you can probably tell that this new design looks, a lot better. Even though not too many things changed. Sometimes small changes can have kind of a big impact. But I can see you wonder, what is that red heart icon? What does it do? Well, if you press on it, you get taken to my Ko-fi page, where you can become one of these amazing people who have been supporting me, GoZen, and the videos that I make. A very big thank you to all of my Ko-fi supporters, as you make all of this possible. And you reduce my stress in the meantime. Thank you very much. Okay, let's take a look at the project manager itself and the script. So we have a couple of things going on. We have a couple of signals on the top bar. This is something I will probably change at some point, this signal, because this is for moving the window. So if you launch this project and try to move it around, it works. Go with the mouse a little bit too high and it won't drag the window around anymore. So that's something I will need to change later on. It's a small thing, but yeah, should work properly. There's not too much going on. Like, I really try to keep this as simple as possible. We have the button to create a new project. We have the open project button. These are just texture buttons. Then we have a very subtle separator with a texture rect, and this is basically to create a kind of gradient effect. It's not too noticeable, but yeah, that's what I wanted to achieve, to have something not too noticeable. In this empty space in the future, you will be able to create custom folders for categories of your videos. For example, if you have multiple YouTube channels, you'll be able to select your YouTube channel in here or your category in here, and you will only see videos for that specific category. Then we have a control node that I use as a spacer, and then we have a hard button which takes you to my Ko-fi page. The way this works is, if you look at the codes, so basically how you can open a website from a button is by using os.shall-open and the link. Then we have a settings button, and that's basically all for the left panel for the sidebar. It's a very simple thing, and in the main all projects VBox, you can see there's some kind of like gradient effect going on with the background. And I did this through a So we have a content panel. I gave the content panel a style box, made the edges blurry, and then in visibility, I used clip only. So it will clip everything that's not part of this black and white thing. So that's how you can get a fading effect on the borders. And then here, the projects get loaded, and the projects can be found in the project box. So if you open the project box, this is basically it. The reason why everything is so big and the start screen is also so big, so if you launch this, so this is a smaller window than what we have in here. And the main reason for that is, well, how I achieve this is if you go to our project settings in Windows, I have the viewport width on this size, but I wanted to start small because of the size of the start scene window and the loading window that I will show a little bit later on. So for this, I use the window width override and the window height override. I do this mainly because I want the project to start in this format, in 700x500. But when I use the editor to create the UI for the normal editor part, which I will quickly show as well, you will notice that it's more convenient to have a 1080p window to work inside of the editor. If we, well, I can just run the project, I think. So let's run it. Let's select our project. So create project, open project, opens the native file dialog. I started using the native file dialog because the Godot file dialog isn't really the greatest. So we select this project, and then we get the loading screen. And a quick note about this. Let's quickly try it. Wait, one more time. Let's quickly try to pause it whilst it's loading. I can normally pause it like this. Okay, so we have our, well, loading. It will say what it's loading. If you hover over this, it will give a little bit more information. And then we also have this section. If you have a company or you want your name here or your company logo here, you can become a sponsor by going to the Ko-fi URL. The sponsors will always display in the loading screen and also on the GitHub GoZen page, the repo page, on the README, as you're supporting the project. So I quickly wanted to mention that. I think it's kind of a good thing. So then we have the normal editor, and it goes from a small screen to a big screen. I had to fiddle around a little bit because I don't use a desktop manager on Linux. I use just a window manager, i3, and I had to make a command, send a command to the system to make it into a full screen window again. But yeah, that's not really too important right now. And this is the editor. So we have our export settings. If we enable this, it does nothing. I don't know why this does nothing. Normally I should be able to click on this and then advanced settings will come out. But yeah, it's still a work in progress. Right now I'm mainly working on the file tree on this side. And then we have the effects on the right, or play in the middle or view screen. And then we also have this timeline. The timeline that I have in mind of creating for the main projects of GoZen will be a little bit special. Will take a little bit of getting used to, but it should be quite convenient to work in and give you a lot more real estate on your screen to work with. Of course, GoZen is modular, so if you don't like this, you can just change the timeline. There's not really a settings menu yet. Everything is kind of a work in progress for the settings. But once that is working, you can switch out the file tree. You can switch out the effects panel. You can add your own custom effects. You can make scenes in another Godot project, put it into a PCK file and put it inside of your module folder, and you will have access to those files, to those scenes. There's a lot of possibilities of what you will be able to do with GoZen in terms of modularity. And I'm so looking forward to seeing the future of this project to make these dreams a reality. So far, GoZen Lite was a test project, and that one proved that it can actually work. The audio part is still something I need to figure out how to export the audio, but I'm getting there slowly but surely, and I hope sincerely by the end of October, GoZen will enter a beta stage. Starting from October, I will do a lot more live streams, so if you want to follow those live streams to see how GoZen is improving, you can click subscribe. If you like this video, click like so other people know that it's a fun video to watch, an informative video. And if you want to support this project, Ko-fi. So yeah, you can always click on the heart icon. So that's basically it. In the next video, I'll go more over the loading, scene, screen, functions. Yeah, that's for the next devlog. If you have some specific part of GoZen that you would like to know more about, please put it down in the comments. I cannot read minds. I tried. If you like this video and you want to share this video to other people, go ahead. If you want to show people, like let people know that this video is good, informative, press the like button. A lot of people first look at the like button to see how many likes it has before they continue watching. So yeah, likes are appreciated. If you want to follow this journey, there's also a subscribe button. I'm not good at this like my videos, share my videos, subscribe. So yeah, I should probably don't, yeah. I don't like doing it, but it helps. It actually helps. Thank you all for watching. If you want to help supporting me, GoZen, the videos that I make, go to my Ko-fi page and become a member or a one-time donation. If you become a member on Ko-fi, by the way, you will have access to resources to use in Godot, like my data manager, my GD extension for having video playback in GoZen, and also Japanese language stuff, because it's kind of a part of my other channel. So yeah, if you want Godot stuff and Japanese language stuff, become a member on my Ko-fi page. This outro is lasting too long. Okay, bye-bye. See you in the next one.